Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my presentation for week 3. For discussion board, I will be speaking on Luther, Merton, and Appleby. First off is Luther Gillick. So Luther Gillick worked for Wilson in World War I. He became a key advisor to Roosevelt and was finally appointed the first city administrator of the city of New York City in 1954. Luther believed in making the government more efficient, transparent, and effective. One of his creations was the organizational chart. He assisted in reorganizing this and taking away the president away from it um, by creating a council of advisors that could handle important issues that could be taken away from the president's shoulders, so they would handle certain issues that didn't necessarily need the president, but they would still report back to the president. um, but at least it was one council advisor assigned to that agency specifically reporting back to the president rather than all these people everywhere reporting back to him. Once all council advisors were appointed, he did create what you see here on my chart, the POSD-CORB. And on page 112, it explains it thoroughly, step by step, and what P stands for: planning, O organizing, S staffing, D directing, C coordinating, R reporting, and B budgeting. So this was something that helped these council advisors on to lead their agency efficiently. So yeah, that was Luther. Next up is Robert Merton. Um, so bureaucracy, structure, and personality. Sorry, he struggled to pronounce bureaucracy. So on page 120, it shows the steps that he believed in. So 1, an effective bureaucracy demands reliability of response and strict devotion to regulations. 2, such devotion to the rule leads to their transformation into absolutes. There are no conceived as relative to given set of purposes. 3, 4, so forth. Merton believed in bureaucracy structure and a concept that he called train incapacity, where he believed that employees should have some flexibility to some um, rigid rules of how they were trained, um, in order to be able to adapt to new or unexpected situations that could occur, always keeping in mind and focusing on the ultimate goal of the organization. And even though he did apply some of Max Weber's bureaucracy beliefs, he did like put a little twist to it to where they could be flexible and it wasn't always so strict as Max Weber. He believed in it being completely strict, doing it step by step. So that was pretty much the difference between both of them and their beliefs on bureaucracy. Next is Paul Appleby. Government is different. So he mainly focuses on public business versus private business. Um, he believed in 3 complementary aspects that differentiated government from other institutions and their activities: breadth of scope, impact, and considerations. Um, and this was on page 122 in his article. Um, he shared that in a narrow sense, government tends therefore to be less efficient because of its public natures. But since government operates more in the public interest because of such special attention and scrutiny, the net effect is to make it more efficient in terms of its central purpose. So basically, what I took from that is that um, Public business will focus on working in the interest for the people, um, and private businesses work in the interest for their own needs, um, and for their own people and their own interests, really. So that's what I took from that. And thank you so much. That is the end of my presentation today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Thank you.